Hey guys, Eric the Red here, Crypto for the Caffeinated. So, I've hit my first real noodle scratcher of a problem in regards to the JANK-ASS mining rig. If you've seen the previous video, I got that server supply put in there and it seemed to be going all right, but about 5 minutes after I left the back room where I set the miner up, the whole thing just shut off completely. So I booted it back up. Everything seemed fine. And so I left the room, and sure enough, 5 minutes later, the whole thing shut itself off again. That was weird. The only thing I could attribute it to was the fact that it may be on a shared circuit with my furnace. I don't think so. But the shutdown seemed to correlate with the furnace kicking on, so maybe that was an issue. Also, truth be told, it was plugged into a really shitty power strip, which was a bad idea to begin with, and I did have to reset that twice. So something happened that caused that really shitty power strip to trip. So I figured, okay, I don't want to deal with this. I moved it back out here to the living room, which you can see now, and it ran okay, I guess. I would notice that the single fan 1050s, the fans would just stop spinning, which on those model of fans, they don't stop spinning unless they don't have power. So I moved around the SATA power connectors, and then I got them to come back to life. So I might have put stress on them or something, but so I ran those. And it was okay, but it still seemed kind of sporadic. I turned the whole thing down, I made sure everything was secure, and then one of my 1060s stopped running. And then I got really concerned. Fortunately, the issue with the 1060 is when I was fiddling around with the power connectors, I had slightly pulled the riser off of the cards. That could have been bad, but I seated that back up properly, and that one came back to life. But those 1050s, for the life of me, they'd boot up, they'd power on, the computer would recognize them being there, but then I'd open up Afterburner, and they would just be entirely grayed out. And then I would open up NiceHash, and they were just, I would get an error message saying that something about they were not operational, or something like that. So the fans were spinning, but they weren't doing anything. So I've spent the majority of my evening after work just trying to sort this out. I thought maybe maybe the risers were bad, so I had some spares, and I cycled out the risers. That wasn't it. I thought maybe the SATA to 6-pin adapters were bad. I jumped right over and plugged them into the power supply, the server power supply. I had extra breakout cables, and exact same story, just nothing, just loading into NiceHash. The only thing it wanted to see was the two 1060s and the two twin fan 1050s. The single fan 1050s, it was like they weren't even there. Here I am hours later, really not wanting to face the fact that maybe I surged something and fried 2 of my cards. And I figured as a last-ditch effort, I would take one of the 1050s out of the JANK-ASS case and put it into the Steam box and just see if I can get any sort of life out of it. So I'm going to show you, but it's really crap. That's how I set this up. But you can see that's our 1050 and that's our RX 560. So it's not going to live there. It's not going to live there, but it's just for experimentation's sake. And fired up Afterburner, it can see the card. And open up NiceHash, it's there. It's currently benchmarking. Actually, my mistake. This is okay. So I got ahead of myself there. So it is. It's on the NiceHash Legacy, which is what the the Steam machine runs on, it's currently benchmarking that 1050. And then just for shits and giggles, I turned the jank rig back on, and it now sees that other 1050, the sibling to this single fan. It can now see it here, everything's just fine, and it's currently benchmarking. So, I don't know what the problem is. The only thing I can think is something might have happened to our PCI slot there at the end of the board. Because this is the one that the other single fan is plugged into, and that's now running just fine, now that there's nothing plugged in there. So maybe I did something bad, and maybe I fried that socket, which sucks. But on the other hand, I do have that PCI Express to 4 USB adapter that I've been meaning to try out, but I didn't see the point. So now maybe I'll try that out and see if I can't get that 1050 back in with the other NVIDIA cards. Either that or the board just doesn't want to run more than 5 cards, which sucks since it has 6 slots, but if that's what I have to do, then that's what I have to do. Is anyone out there running one of these H110 D3A motherboards and run into a situation like this? Like, I accepted the fact that I wasn't going to be able to modify that M.2 slot. You know, that's fine. I've got my storage in the M.2 now. I've got plenty of power, and I don't see a reason why I can't utilize all those slots. So, if this has happened to you, please let me know in the comment section down below. If not, I'll power this down in a couple of days when I get some time and see about putting that adapter in there and seeing if I can't get this back up and into one piece. But I tell you, JANK-ASS is starting to live up to its name. Besides, I can't keep that 1050 in that other case forever anyway, because I've got another RX 560 coming as I try to beef that up with some more AMD goodness. I'm going to go to bed now. I just wanted to throw this out there to the hive mind to bounce some knowledge off all of y'all. But until next time, I'm Eric the Red. This is Crypto for the Caffeinated. Stay caffeinated. Stay with me here, because I just remembered one other thing I should mention. There was a NiceHash update to version 2.0.2.2 beta, which effectively removes the Nist5 algorithm as well as the original Kryptonite algorithm. I'm ecstatic that they removed the Nist5 because that's been manipulated to death by a lot of the buyers, and it's caused havoc in your payouts. So I have been running that disabled for weeks now, just because it's such a pain in the ass, and I'm glad that it's gone. So I don't have to worry about that. They recommend rebenching all your cards to maybe see some increased profit. And I saw Brandon over at BRANDONCOIN, he did an experiment with his 1050 Ti, and it was roughly the same, if not a little bit worse. But I'll put a link to that video down in the description below, because Brandon's done good things for me, so I'll do good things for him. Thanks, man. But yeah, for seriously this time, I'm Eric the Red. It's late. I'm going to bed. Here's another cat shirt for y'all. Peace.